Get ready for the next battle.
You have an idea who you're maining for Tekken 8? Nope. We will be finding out throughout the weekend. What's good? What's good? What's up, you guys? It's VDX. Now, while all the regular people are studying their combos, trying out their new characters and everything, we have a mission. In the last network test, I looked at every character's backdash cancel to see whose movement felt the best, whose was actually the best, right? Like, sometimes you can move really far, but it feels terrible. Some people can move, like, and it feels really fluid, but you don't go very far. So we're going to look at it and see if they updated it at all for the closed beta test. Starting out here with Jin right away, put us on the arena stage, and I cleared out kind of the bottom so you could see where we end up when we do all these backdashes. And then I have the input counter on the left so you can see how many frames I'm holding my backdash for. We're getting real nerdy with it, okay? So Jin, if I do 4 single backdashes, we get to the edge of the ring, okay? If I do 4 backdash cancels, it's about the same distance. This is about the same tempo of backdash I did in the last beta, right? So about 15 frames of holding back and you get the max distance for Jin. 3, 4, 5. So pretty decent. It feels about the same. I will say that last time I was playing on PS5, so it felt really clunky. But now that I'm playing on PC, the latency is a lot better. It feels pretty smooth. I don't think they really changed the properties of the backdash that much. We'll have to compare it to the last video. But first thing I would say is Jin feels like a solid A. All right, this is all subject to be moved around. But actually, you know what? Let me pull up my old video and let's see the difference. Oh my goodness, I'm zoomed in. All right. We don't need to hear 3 of me, but I want to see how far Jin goes. Okay, wait. So I messed up. You'll see that I initially measured it on the non-arena stage, right? So I remeasure Jin here. Look at that. Helpful timestamp. So I want to see how far Jin goes with 4 backdashes. My hunch tells me it's about to be the same. Okay, so I demonstrate some fast backdashes. Come on, buddy. Stick to the mission. I guess we could check out the 4 quick ones as soon as he gets back to the long backdashes. Oh, wait, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So it looks like it's a little better. I'm doing a 13 frame backdash there, and it took like what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I get a reset? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so at 5 backdashes, he gets to the outside of the ring. If we look at Tekken 8 now, my bad. Look at this. So if that's the exact same, the design is a little different, right? The stage looks a bit different. But if the distance is to be believed, it's like one backdash better. No, it might be about the same. It's about the same. They just tricked me with the design. So Jin's backdash is completely unchanged. At 5 backdashes, you get to his foot right outside this line. And if you compare it to this here, it's the exact same thing. Any second now, brother. 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, so at 5 backdashes, it's about the same. So we can say that Jin's backdash is completely unchanged. And rather than compare it with everybody, I think we'll just take this as a little measurement. Okay, so Jin feels exactly the same. All right, but I'm gonna put him in A for now because it feels pretty smooth. This might be a PC thing, but we'll try again. All right. Wait, I don't want to go to character select. There's a quick select, right? Here we go. All right, Jin, let's go to Nina. Let's try the default 4.
Get ready for
Got all these new
next
costumes
battle.
and stuff too. All right. 5 backdashes, she moves about the same distance as Jin. If I do fast cancels, she also goes nowhere. But I will say that she's able to cancel a bit faster than Jin is. If I do the super slow one, I get like here. If I go where it feels kind of natural, I end up around here. So Nina's feels really good. And I think I remember that being the case as well in the last beta. But she's really moving and she's able to cancel a lot quicker. So I gotta put her tier above. So we'll put Jin at B. I didn't know how good it was. Okay, Nina's really moving. All right, and then if you do these faster cancels, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do these faster cancels with Nina, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You end up around here. Her movement feels really good. Getting stuck in QCF doesn't feel as good because you can't really cancel this with tapping up, as far as I know. You're kind of stuck in that crouch dash, so that's not very comfortable. And obviously if you mess up this, you end up in crouch dash, but that one is cancelable. So her forward crouch dash can't be canceled. Her backwards one can be with sidestep. That's how you get the Hayashida step that I can't do. But I will say that hers feels really, really good. All right, let's check out Jack.
Get ready for the next battle.
All right, Jack's backdash. Give it a nice slow one. Holy moly, this guy's moving. Honestly, wow. When he does 2 jab, he fucking shoots a gun. Anyways, this backdash reminds me a lot of Tekken 7's. It feels really good. He covers a lot of distance. And then if you cancel a bit faster, he goes a decent distance if you cancel pretty fast. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty comparable, right? So Jack's movement is feeling really, really good as well. This is kind of surprising. Well, actually, if you played Jack in Tekken 7, it's not that surprising. Jack has always felt really good to move around with. But it's surprising, I think, if you just look at the way the character looks. It's like, I wouldn't expect him to be able to move like that. All right, let me pull up my old tier list from before. So, already, Nina and Jack, pretty similar. Although, I don't want to bias my opinion too much, so I'm not going to look at that one over and over. But, for sure, it felt something like this. I think Nina felt comparable to Jack, to be honest. I might be lying. Jack feels really good to move around with, but it's something around there. Next character. We got all these new costumes. How very exciting. All right, we're checking out Lily's movement.
For the next battle.
At 5 backdashes, she also gets her foot outside of the ring. And that's a pretty quick backdash. If I cut it a bit slower, or sorry, if I cancel it a bit faster, I probably end up a similar distance. So I'm getting a real Jack vibe from her movement. Like, I wonder if it's going to be weird because her front leg kind of sticks out like that. So she might not be as evasive to lows as other characters with different animations. But the overall process of moving her feels fine. I think every character, honestly, feels so much better just by being on PC latency. Like, again, I tested the last one on PS5, so everything felt a little clunkier and a little more hard to move around with. I'm really happy so far with how this feels. Lily definitely doesn't feel as crisp as Jack. Close to Nina. Close to Nina. We'll have to see as we try out more characters. But noticeably, by far, Jin's, if you cancel his really fast, he really loses a lot of distance. But Lily, Jack, and Nina, they keep moving a decent amount. So that's pretty sick. Let's check out Hwarang. Oh my goodness, and he has this ridiculous nonsense.
Get ready for the next battle.
Alright. Hwarang moves very little with a full backdash. Actually, it's about the same as Jin's, distance-wise. You get Jin distance. I just lied to you with my initial assessment. If you cancel at the speed of Jin's, you don't gain a lot compared to doing it slightly faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right at the outside of the ring. That's kind of how I'm marking it with where his back foot ends. This is like what, a 12 frame backdash if you look at how long and the input counter. A little bit faster at like 9 to 11 frames, it's about the same. And then if you go really slow, he's not getting much. So his movement feels pretty good. I think you'll get to be able to cancel him pretty quickly. And even if you slow it down just barely, he's still covering a lot of distance. I don't think it felt as far as Nina's. So this is a bit of a toss-up. You know what it is? It kind of feels like Jack's, just with not as much distance. I'm gonna put him... This A tier is so tough because they're all so really close, right? I'm trying to order it, but it might not even be that feasible. Like, I think Lily's might be a little better. And this is hard because this isn't, like, in a fight, right? So, like, testing it how it feels in a fight is the real test. But, for now, this is kind of my rough guess of how it kind of feels.
Get ready for the next battle.
Alright. Looking at Leroy. 5 backdashes, takes him around here. And then you cancel a little faster. He still kind of moves. So basically, it's felt like Jin is the only one that doesn't really move if you cancel pretty fast. But Leroy's moving, Lily's moving, Nina's moving, Jack's moving. I should say that Leroy isn't getting as far, right? Like, he's barely getting to that outer ring. But kind of like Lily's, he seems to, like, dip his head back, right? So it feels like he's moving really far. And just like the other characters we just reviewed that aren't Jin, canceling his backdash pretty fast, you still get a good amount of distance. So I'll have to put Leroy up in this A tier as well. This A tier is getting a little cluttered, right? Like, this is... If everybody just ends up there, it's not going to be a very interesting list. Okay, newcomer. Let's try. Here we go. We get a different result with this, hopefully. Bang, the only reference point I have for how he moves is Tekken 7. Oh my goodness. This guy really moves. Doing my 5 backdashes. He might be getting the farthest back that I've seen. Let's cancel a bit quicker. Okay, so kind of like Jin, he does lose a bit of distance, but no, I'm lying. See, it feels like he's losing a lot of distance, right? Just because we're cutting off his backdash so soon. But if you look at how much distance he actually covers, he's there, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's right at the edge. Okay, we're gonna pull up Jin one more time just to really lock in what it feels like to do a bad fast backdash. Okay, so first of all, trying out Fang for that little bit of movement. I'm inclined to put him ahead of Jack, but let me just show you Jin again. If we're doing a fast backdash, right, this is about where people end up that we're used to. Right, like the foot isn't even touching that little red ring on the outside. That's kind of the, I think that's kind of the metric. So let's compare that. Let's make sure I'm not going insane. We'll check Fang one more time. There's a chance that I'm just missing everything and they're really all the same. Okay, no. Objectively, if you do 5 quick backdashes with Fang, he's moving like a step farther back. But it feels like he's covering so much more distance. Right? Like, it could be just his stance. But Fang's backdash feels pretty good. And I mentioned this in the last video, where a lot of the backdash feel comes from how quick do they accelerate initially before you get that down back cancel. Oh my goodness. And a lot of the characters that feel really good accelerate really fast, so that by the time you're initiating the cancel with the crouch, you've already gotten the distance that you really need to get. So Fang is feeling pretty good. Law, I remember, so I played a lot of Law in the closed network test, and I remember feeling like his backdash was kind of clunky. That said, the latency makes it feel a little better. But you can see, again, if I do 5 backdashes, I'm right on the ring there. So it feels almost like Jin. Or if you cancel too fast, he's going nowhere. Right? But with Law, if you give it big backdashes, he's really, really stepping back. It's like his point of acceleration is a bit past like the halfway point. So Law gets a good amount of distance. If we look at our A tiers, I think we'll see that it's really not that great. Law is probably going to benefit a lot more from single backdashes than canceling at a fast pace. So Law, regrettably, I can only put him maybe like right above Jin. But again, he's not really, he doesn't feel as fluid as the other characters. Bit of a shame. Bit of a shame because Law is such like a fluid character in general, right? Now Lars is one that I was really particular about, I think, because I like Lars a lot as a character. But the one thing I don't like about Lars is how moving with him feels. I don't know how to describe it, you guys, but let me show you how his head looks, okay? When his head is moving like this, it feels so sloppy. You don't get like a crisp feeling of the cancel when you're backdashing with Lars. Now, that said, even though you're not getting a really crisp backdash with him, look at how far he goes. If you're doing like the Jin backdash, 14 frames, 15 frames, he gets back pretty far. And if you really delay it, he gets pretty far back, right? So Lars is one of the characters that his backdash, you really need to like let it simmer. And the longer you give it, the more distance he covers. His acceleration comes at the very, very end. So it doesn't feel very good for me to use. If I'm canceling really quickly, it kind of looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. End up around here. So like he can get distance, but you see how like the initial backdash, like if I'm going like forward dashes and then a backdash like this, he doesn't really get a lot of distance. And that I don't like very much. I like being able to change my spacing a lot really quickly. And Lars, they've kind of shoehorned him into where he covers space forward really well, right? But moving backward is not really in his strong suit anymore at a fast pace. He still can move backwards, but it's a lot more segmented and chunky. So this is where in the last tier list, I put them based on feel and based on distance. So Lars got an S- because he didn't feel very good to backdash with, but you could see how far he was covering, right? The distance was insane. In this case, again, the feel is a bit better because of PC. So it's hard to evaluate. It doesn't feel as bad as I thought it did, but I'm inclined to give it a similar rating where he's covering the most distance, but it's not very fun. We'll reassess it as we get back into it. All right. Claudio. New outfit.
Get ready for the next battle.
All right. Claudio. Yeah, I remember his backdash feeling really good. And it still does. But upon revisiting it, he's not going that far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It feels incredible, right? Because he gets that quick acceleration, and if you really hold it, he still goes back pretty far. But you know, I don't know if they nerfed it since the last test, but it's very clear to me that he's not covering nearly as much distance as before. It's nice how fast he moves. Like, he really jumps back really quickly, but the full distance he's gaining in multiple backdashes is not a lot. 5 backdashes, he's not as far back as Jin is. And Jin was kind of our metric for like, all right, is this a good backdash or not? Jin's was kind of the middle ground, I think, in terms of feel and distance. So this puts me in a hard position because in my last tier list, I rated Claudio very highly because it felt really good to do it. But now that I'm really looking at it, it's honestly, it's a toss-up because these guys do not feel very good to backdash with, and you're moving them pretty slowly. Claudio, you can move quickly, but I don't know how effective it is to go backwards, right? Like, can you really generate a good whiff off of these 2 backdashes? Oh my goodness. New voice line. It's possible. I'll have to fight with oh sorry, I had it cut off. Are you really making things whiff with 2 backdashes at this range? Like, even his hop kick is still in range with 2 backdashes. Unless you do 2 really slow ones. Oh, no. See, if you're point blank and then you do 2 full backdashes, the up forward 4 still hits. So, is it really an effective backdash if you have to get 3 to generate a whiff? Given that's a pretty long range move, right? But if Claudio is always in range after 2 backdashes, I can't say that's really good. So, Claudio's feels really good, but I'll have to add another tier, I think. So, this gets A-, because feels, right? But realistically, these are better backdashes than Claudio, I think. This is hard because, again, it's going to be so dependent on combat and in their how their moves interact with their backdashes and how you create these different spacings. But wow, that does not feel very good. I mean, it feels very good, but he's not going very far. That's an interesting problem we'll have to keep looking at. Next, check out Brian. Oh, they have his legit Tekken 7 outfit. Brian is peak.
Ready for the next battle.
All right, Brian moving backwards. I feel like Brian gets the Claudio distance. And, oh, I didn't map my buttons, but you look at, let's see. 2 backdashes, you're still in 3+4 range. 3 backdashes, it whiffs. What the heck? So in general, it's looking like 2 backdashes from point blank doesn't get you out of range of the long range attacks, right? But if you go back like 2, the pokes start to miss. So this, it's hard to say. In terms of the feel, though, Brian's feels about the same as Law's and Jin's, right? Wow, he's not moving. I'm lying. He moves a decent amount. He moves about Jin's level. So I'd probably put Brian's backdash at the same as Jin's. If you go fast, he still loses a lot of distance. Yeah, I would say Brian, Jin, and Law feel the most similar. 1 second, I have to respond to a message. Okay, so where did I leave off? Brian is about the same as... Is Brian even in this thing? Do you guys see Brian here? Am I blind? No, wait, there's no Brian here, right? Did they forget him? I tweaking? Dude. Yeah, there's no Brian. Tekken 8 tier maker. Okay, this is better. All right, we got to recreate the tier list. So, Lars, Brian, I think Laws is the best, but they feel similar. And then Jack, Nina, Lily, Warang, Leroy. Okay, this is the tier list so far. I like when it's just their faces, but you know, we can't really complain. We just need all the characters. Back to business. Okay, we're on King. King had an atrocious backdash in the last game. It was so bad. Yeah, it was I remember straight C tier. And it was almost comical. So let's see. Somebody mentioned early in the chat that they may have buffed him. It feels about... It's... I can't even describe it. It's like if you cancel any sooner than a full backdash, it's like he moves forward again. Like, can you guys see that? We'll get the foot measurement here. So he gets about like Jin's distance, like on full backdashes. You just have to go really, really slow. He gets like, no, I'm lying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He gets like half a step less than Jin, okay? So it's still so far the worst. But the worst part about it, let me change where my camera is so you can see his head. It's like he moves forward again if you cancel any sooner than you should. That's 5 backdashes. And he's barely moving. So King is still easily the worst. I don't even think it's debatable. The one character we do have to compare him to is Kazuya, though, because Kazuya's backdash, in particular, felt pretty bad. So let's directly compare that while we have that fresh in our minds. Wow, that one felt horrible. That was really, really bad. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Look, okay, this is... For the intent of like how far he goes, he ends up like pretty similar to King, right? But you don't have to wait nearly as long for a backdash to complete. Wow, Kazuya feels pretty decent. Like a little better than Claudio. And I remember before his backdash was not that good. Yeah. Kazuya's been put on Claudio level, if not better. Was it like that before? Before, he still moved pretty well. I probably overrated Claudio in my last list. But here, it's really easy to put Kazuya above Claudio. Maybe even Leroy. I want to put him right around here. I'm not showing my screen, all right? Let's try that again. Claudio is down here, but he feels really good, right? He just has no distance, right? Feels good. Low distance. But Kazuya is way better than him at this point, and I think it feels better than these two dudes too. So we might have to make a B+, right? Because this A tier is just way too big. But I am trying to order it, and I think Kazuya is way better. I don't know if better than in the network test, but definitely better than Claudio. That's kind of huge. I didn't expect that. And then, yeah, so again, fast cancels. He's moving. Medium speed cancels and then really slow ones. It's about the same distance. I'm doing what, like 15 frame backdashes? Please. Yeah, so it's a similar distance. Kazuya's backdash is really, really good, and I thought it was pretty bad before. I want to try Xiaoyu's new costume.
Get ready for the next battle.
All right. So she doesn't really move at all. That's a little disappointing. Actually, it's not that disappointing because in Tekken 7 it was kind of similar. She moves fluidly, like if I cancel really fast, I get to like that red ring. If I cancel a little slower, I'm basically at the same spot, just like a little farther back. So Xiaoyu has kind of the Claudio syndrome where she feels really good to move with, but you're not really getting anywhere. So I'm pretty confidently able to put her here. She doesn't move as far as Claudio, but she also has a crisp cancel. You know, like if you cancel early, it doesn't feel like she's moving back forward, right? Like King was moving forward again. Xiaoyu doesn't seem to have that problem. Her movement feels really good. Like you're moving backwards, accelerating backwards, you just don't get a lot of distance. Which for a character like Xiaoyu, which is really evasive and kind of a trickstery anyways, I think that's okay. All right, Azucena. This is exciting. So for what reference point we have, she's supposed to be a blend of like Josie and Lucky Chloe, Katarina. So I have no idea how she'll feel. 5 backdashes around to the ring. If I go slower, she gets right about the edge. If I go really slow, it doesn't really give her a big edge. And then a quicker cancel. All right, so she is right around Claudio tier. This is pretty clean. Like I'm pretty happy about that actually. Like clean, solid movement with a quick cancel that feels really good, but not a huge amount of distance. I don't like that there's not a huge amount of distance, but I like the backdash feel. I like the feeling of all the acceleration at the beginning so that you get clean backwards movement when you want to go backwards and then clean forward movement when you want to go forwards. Azucena feels pretty good to backdash with. I have no idea how she fights, so take that with a grain of salt, but so far moving with her is equal, if not better than Claudio. These two might be replaceable, right? I'm going to put her there for now. Because I played a lot of Claudio, so I felt pretty comfortable with him, I think. And Azucena, I think, feels a little better. Let's check out Raven. This quick select and the loading is so nice. Like, you never got loading this quickly in Tekken 7, unless obviously you use that quick function. Quick select? Yeah. Okay. Master Raven's backdash in Tekken 7, I did not like very much, but Raven's, it feels way crisper. Like, Master Raven's backdash in 7 felt kind of like Lars's to me, where it kind of dragged and was like syrupy. This guy, Raven, feels really, really good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, so like a medium speed backdash, he's getting pretty far back. If I go really slow, it's about the same distance. Yep, see how his front foot is on the ring? That's like a medium speed. If I go super slow, it's about the same. So Raven feels, oh my goodness. If I cancel him quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he still gets a lot of distance. Raven might have some of my favorite movements so far. He feels really good to move with. Now, obviously, if you cancel too quickly, he doesn't go anywhere. Actually, that's not even true. He still kind of moves. It could be partially his stance, right? Like he's leaning back already. But wow, this guy feels really good to move with. I'm impressed because I did not like moving with him in as Master Raven. But I don't know what they did. They gave his animation a little more crispness. And it feels really good. Wow. Raven, this one's hard to rate. He's either top of A or A. I think I might put him in S. I was really, it feels really good moving with him. So I want to put Lars as S- because it feels bad. Good distance, right? So like Lars belongs there, but I think oh no, come back. Ravens feels exceptional. Ravens feels exceptional. So I gotta put this here, call it S, right? And Raven, I think, is going in S. His movement feels really, really good. And I've seen some stuff that he can do. It seems like a really scary character. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's check out Asuka.
Get ready for the next battle.
Okay. Compared to Tekken 7, animation obviously is almost exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she does not really move very far. But if you cancel pretty quickly, it's feeling very Claudio-like. So these feel really good to do. These like smaller backdash characters have really nice like initial acceleration. So they feel really good to move with and to cancel, but you're not really going anywhere, right? So like 3 backdashes from her, you could still hit a forward 2. 4 backdashes is where it gets a little tough. But 3 backdashes, depending how slow you do them. So if you do it as slow as possible, then you're out of range. So Asuka, really fun backdash, but not really going anywhere. It's probably around here. I would rate it maybe slightly better than Claudio's. Let's take a look. Claudio's, if you remember, felt really good to cancel, but he had a bit of that king effect where he moved back forward. But he at least, I think, got to the edge of the ring. And Asuka's not even getting there. So we're going to put her back over here. She's going right in front of Xiaoyu. If anything, Xiaoyu's might be slightly better, but it's a toss-up. Those 2 characters are not really moving. And of course, King in the very bottom. I almost forgot. Can't forget him there. We're almost done looking at every character, so at least the ones available. June and then Paul. Classic new outfit. I like the new outfits.
Get ready for the next battle.
Somebody in the chat was saying that June's movement didn't feel good, but I don't remember that. And based on what I'm seeing here, she kind of moves. Wow. Slower backdash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right to the outer ring. Faster. Inner ring. Medium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right about the outer ring. So she feels really good. I want to compare this to Lily's, actually. But I think she's a solid A-tier backdasher. I'm going to compare her to Lily right now because Lily, I remember I rated really high in the last one. And I'm not sure why. So right about to the outer ring on a fast backdash. Let's jump to Lily really quickly. And compare.
Get ready for the next battle.
Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Lily gets farther back. Lily gets way farther back than June does. She gets super far back if you do a really slow backdash. I think I was underrating it. So I might put her at the top of A. So I just moved her to the top of A here. I want to compare to Fang and Jack one more time. That's what we're going to do. Compare to Fang and Jack to get this tier list really down. Because Lily, on 5 backdashes, her front foot is by the red ring and her back foot is way far back. So she's getting a lot of distance and I was probably underrating that. She might even move up to S, especially on PC. I'm not feeling that like really clunky delay that was really annoying. So let's compare to Jack one more time. Reminder, Jack is next to Fang near the upper part of the tier list. So I want to give it a good amount of certainty. Wow, Jack's is really good. So Jack has the same thing. His front foot is right about that front ring. His back foot is pretty far back. But let's compare to Fang. It might be that Lily and Jack are at the front.
Get ready for the next battle.
Checking Fang again. Okay, they're about where they belong. I think these 3 are the top of the A tier. They're so good that I want to compare them to the S tier, honestly. Let's look at, based on the list, let's look at Nina. Nina was the next one down. So if Nina doesn't match their performance, we'll bump them up a tier, and we'll compare them to Raven also. Yeah, so Nina is noticeably not going as far. I bet. So Nina is noticeably not going as far. Unless you give it the really slow back dashes, she gets that front foot up, but her back foot isn't as far back. So Nina can go... Oh, it's so close, but I think Nina is definitively a tier below. Yeah. Because her cancel isn't as good. So we have to move these three up here. Give me 1 sec. I gotta use the bathroom. I'm gonna take a break real quick. Hang tight. All right, I'm back, y'all. Thanks for waiting. All right, so almost done testing all the backdashes, but where we've arrived so far is here. I have to test Raven one more time because I was just shocked again at how good Lily's, Fang's, and Jack's were. But yeah, Raven stood out really, really far to me as both feeling good and being very effective. Yeah, so these are all the S tier backdashes. Where Raven stands out is how fast you can cancel it and still get distance. Like, it feels like he's going to be so hard to hit compared to the other characters anyways. So this is the tier list so far. The last character we have that's actually available for us to test is Paul. So let's hop in and test Paul. I remember Paul feeling pretty solid as well. Oh, we gotta pick an old costume.
Get ready for the next battle.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. He's moving too. And that's a quicker backdash. All right, so pretty sure Paul is going in S tier as well. And it's not just because of the huge distance he covers on a slow backdash, but how moving quickly still gets him a good amount of distance. Like, this distance is how far Xiaoyu gets if you like drag hers out. So Paul is really moving as well. Paul gets a spot in the S tier. Right up here. So I might put him here. Yeah, I think he's here. So to conclude, the A tiers are honestly really, really good. They move really, really well. A- is good movement, but feels bad. The B tiers all feel really good to move with, but they just aren't getting that distance. And then King. King is uniquely awful. King's backdash is uniquely awful. All right, last thing I want to do, this video is already getting very long. I want to check Lars again because I remember we gave him such a high placement, but we have a really good context for the S tier now. So let's see if we can bump him down or leave him where he is. Yeah, no, he belongs in S tier. He has that S tier distance with none of the good feel. Like, if you do the slow back dashes, he really gets just that far back. Right? Like, look at him. But it does not feel very good. So he gets an S- just for how much distance. But wow, I do not prefer to backdash with this character. I might even put him in A-. If I can get this far back with Law, front to the ring, front foot to the ring, and then rear back foot, like just on the rubber, I'm putting him down to A-. It's just, ugh, it just does not feel good. Yeah, okay. So Lars and Law, probably about here. Realistically. Which means I will just delete this S- tier. And there we go. This is the backdash tier list. What happened to Claudio? I think I either overrated him in the last one. I may have just overrated him in the last one, because if you just look at the distance he covers, even though it feels super good, he's just not going that far. I may have overrated him in the last one.
Get ready for the next battle.
That might be what we did. Hold on. See, now I'm not sure. Because this is pretty far back, right? No, it's not. Look at his rear foot. His rear foot doesn't get that distance, right? So, but that's tough. Do you gauge it by the rear foot or the front foot? Because realistically, the front foot is where the spacing happens, right? The front foot probably matters more. S to B, I mean, maybe we could put him at the end of A tier. We should check everybody one more time, but I think Claudio really depends on getting that full distance cancel. Maybe that will put him above. Okay, no, I'm tripping. He's better than Azucena for sure. He's better than Azucena for sure. He just gets more distance, objectively. So I was tripping. I'm glad you asked, actually. Claudio has to get higher. But he's very clearly below S. That much is certain. We should check Nina again, I guess. Let's check Kazuya. Let's check Kazuya. I'm trying to see if Claudio deserves to be higher or lower. I think right now, bottom of the A tier is pretty good, but let's check. Yeah. Claudio's in the right place, I think, because if you cancel Kazuya a bit faster, bro. He gets about here. And Claudio will probably get about... See, that's like an 11 frame backdash, looking at the command history.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Claudio's stance leaves him a bit farther back once the backdash fully recovers. But I think Kazuya is getting a little more distance. So... we can move down the list, check out Hwoarang.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, I think Claudio's in the right place. So this is the final tier list of backdashes, accounting for both feel and distance. Actually, somebody recommended that I do the XY chart, like a two-dimensional tier list, but I don't know if that's possible with what I have. Tier list Tekken 8, is this a thing? XY tier list? Is there a, do you know what it is? 2D tier list? It might not be a thing. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I don't have a template for it, but we can settle on this. So, yeah, big conclusions. On PC, the backdashes generally feel way better. Paul and Raven are by far the best. They might deserve their own. But these three other characters are also moving really well. Right when you get to the A tier, you have great feel, but the distance is not as good as the S tiers. And then these are A minus because even though the distance is really good, they feel really bad. There's a big... I talk about this near the beginning, but basically there's the initial acceleration versus like the overall distance you cover. So a lot of these A minus characters, they go far, but only at the very end of the backdash. So you have to wait really long to get your maximum value out of the cancel. If you cancel too quickly, they go nowhere, right? Like Law is the most visible. So yeah, the characters that have a late acceleration have a bit more of like this backdash doesn't feel as good. And the B tiers all feel pretty good, but they aren't getting the distance. And once again, King moving forward if you cancel too quickly. Not literally, but it's what it feels like. He gets no distance. Hopefully that was informative. I know the video is going to be very long, but now you know a bit about how they're doing backdashes. I'm glad that they kind of are moving in a direction where you can still do faster cancels. That's really good. I am a little disappointed that Jin and Law and Lars still feel a little clunky. But ultimately, the cast by and large feels great to move around with. Ironically, all of the A- characters are the ones I had the most fun playing in the last test. I liked Lars, I liked Law, I liked Jin. I did like Claudio a lot, but the main characters I thought I would probably play in the next game all have this clunky, slow, syrupy backdash cancel. And if you know me, I really like a fast backdash cancel, so we'll have to see. Hopefully I enjoy these S tiers or these A tiers. Again, these are backdash tiers, okay? In case that wasn't clear. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Okay, we pumped out 2 recordings. Very nice. Oh. Okay, sorry I didn't answer a lot of questions in chat. I wanted to get a clean VOD going, but I'm happy to answer anything now. Oh, yeah, pumping things out. Whew. Last time I streamed a 72 hours straight, and it was really fun and I got a lot of content, but I didn't get as much content on YouTube as I would have liked. So all I have is the energy drained of a 72-hour stream. So what I want to do this time around is put more of an emphasis on getting videos out, and then secondary focus on like stream duration. So we're going to be streaming for a while, but my priority is getting these videos onto YouTube. So that said, thanks for sticking around for a little bit. We're gonna probably go to bed and chill, let the other people stream, and then after work tomorrow, or you know, take a little midday break, we'll hop back onto Tekken 8. So short one for now. We will be back later. Thank you so much, and let me send you over to somebody who's streaming. Gonna milk that Azu and Raven content? Yeah, maybe. I know for sure I want to play them and learn them, but I don't know how much I will like make content out of them necessarily. We'll see. All right. I'm gonna raid MYK and I will come back live. I'll be putting up things on Twitter and Discord, etc. And I'll see y'all around. Peace.